Hello YouTube, this is pecktec and welcome to my first video of 2014. I want to give you a little preview of what you're going to see this year. Last year I made a whopping 17 aquarium videos, and my goal is to double that this year and have even more videos. I'm going to delve into a couple of new things. I still have that 27 gallon that I haven't set up. That's going to be an example of how to set up a high-tech tank, including pressurized CO2 with a pH indicator to cut off the solenoid, you know, when the pH goes up and down. So that'll be cool. I've got a really nice light to put on there. I've done little unboxings for these things if you look back through my videos. I wanted to let you know too, some people are saying, oh, I can't find this video, that video. I made a playlist on my YouTube page, on the main YouTube page. So if you go there, there are playlists for every kind of subject that you can imagine, and some of them overlap a little bit. But all the aquarium videos that I've made throughout the entire time on YouTube are available there in the All Aquariums playlist. So please feel free to look through there. Some of you have asked questions about things that I've already answered in other videos. I might point you that way. It's not a big deal, but feel free to take a look through that list and find out other stuff you want to know. One other thing I'd like to cover is my daughter got me this book for Christmas, and there's a couple of guys, one guy in particular that made a lot of videos on the Wallstead method, which is basically a very, very simple way to keep your aquarium. It involves a lot with dirted tanks. It's kind of the opposite of the high-tech. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the high-tech tank. I'm going to set up probably a smaller, because I don't have a lot of room left, smaller low-tech tank, and kind of compare them and see how they do. The Wallstead method is a very interesting thing. It's a lot of stuff that I already do. I mean, I really don't, a lot of my tanks don't have a lot of high-tech to them. I mean, I don't really inject CO2 in anything. I use pretty much natural substrates and that sort of thing. I bought like the Eco Complete and a little bit better gravel, you know, to start with, but I don't put anything really elaborate in there. If you watch some of the videos from Toshiki Amano, it seems like they put like 4 or 5 dozen different types of additives in the fertilizer. I may, you know, into the substrate. So I may try a little bit of that this year, but for the most part, those things are very expensive, so I haven't tried that much at all. And but maybe that'll be part of the high-tech tank. We'll see. I've already got a lot of money in it. So as soon as my sister comes over and grabs her half moon here with the figure 8 puffer and all the little platies and stuff, as soon as that's gone, then the 27 gallons going in down here, and we'll get that started. I'm also, with the low-tech tank, I'm going to try dirt for the first time. I'm going to try a dirted tank, so that should be interesting. I had a couple of questions that I wanted to get to. First of all, with Google Plus being integrated, it's been sort of hard to get to them. I'm getting a little bit better at it. There's so many YouTube videos where the people never answer any of the questions. You try to talk to them and they just act like you don't exist. I try not to do that. I'm going to, for as long as I can, if you ask a question on my YouTube channel, I'm going to try to find the answer for you or give you my best answer. I don't always know, you know, of course no one knows everything about everything. I'll give you the best answer that I know. If I'm wrong, if somebody else sees what I've responded and I'm wrong, just let me know. I'd be happy to learn, you know, to learn some more. But I'll try to never lead you completely in the wrong direction. Okay, I had 2 questions that came up just recently. One from Christina Rapace and one from Lake Lover 16. And they're basically asking almost the same question. They've got new aquariums and they're looking to set up, take their old aquariums and transfer them to the new aquariums. And what I want to say on that subject is do it slow. They still have to acclimate. They still have to go through what's called the nitrogen cycle, or cycling the aquarium. When you cycle the aquarium, which is a subject that is just too big to cover in this video, It's a process by which you develop the biological material that it takes to become a stable aquarium. There are a bunch of things that can help with this. If you don't have live plants, please get some live plants. The real easy ones are like Anubis nana, Java fern, Java moss, any of those things that are going to help absorb the ammonia and things that come up in a new aquarium. You could pull as much of the old aquarium over there as possible. I'm not sure what kind of, I couldn't tell what kind of filtration systems you guys had. But if you've got one with biological material, like the little ceramic material, moving that from one tank to another is going to help a great deal. But of course, don't do that until the fish have started to come over. You don't want to take away their good stuff that are helping them stay healthy in your current tank until it's time to move over to the new tank. I would set it up and probably leave it up for at least a week, maybe a little bit longer, and let all the, especially if you use new water that's right out of the faucet, you want to let the bubbles and all those things kind of dissipate and let all the cloudiness kind of get out of the water. If you've got plants, go ahead and add the live plants in right away and kind of get it set up for them. I'd let it sit. And you can gradually, if you've got a lot of fish in the other tank, you could put like maybe 1 or 2 in and just kind of gradually move them over. I know your first instinct is to take the entirety of the other tank, just take all the guts out of it and put it in there. I just wouldn't do that. You're going to put your fish into shock because it's mainly inside of the filter is where you're going to have your problems. These things need to run their course. They need to cycle. Of course, the water in the water column will have a little bit to do with it too. If you put them right in, right after you fill it up with tap water, I mean, even if you dechlorinate it, there are a lot of heavy metals that haven't been dealt with, and there are a lot of gases in the water. But usually when you first fill up an aquarium with tap water, you're going to see bubbles everywhere, all over the inside of the glass and everywhere. Those are the gases that are naturally in your water kind of working their way out. You can add some of your original water, but really a lot of that bacteria doesn't reside in the water column. It's more like all over all the stuff inside. You can add some of your gravel. If you don't use plants especially, I wouldn't add much of your gravel, but you can take like a handful of your original gravel and you can throw that in the tank too, and that'll get the nitrogen process working. That'll get the cycle started. Well, I hope that helps. Truthfully, the best way to go is just to do it slow, get your aquarium kind of set up, add some plants in there, and from that point on, just slowly move the fish over. Give it at least a week with it running with no fish in it whatsoever. There are all kinds of videos on fishless cycling, which is adding a little bit of ammonia. You can do it like with the kitchen ammonia people used to clean with. You can add a little bit of that in and kind of get the process started and monitoring with water tests and that sort of thing. That might be a good video for later this year. I have probably hundreds and hundreds of thousands of guppies and Endler's live bearers, and sometimes I'll take just one and throw it in there and let that fish cycle the tank. It's not the nicest thing to do though for the fish. I mean, it's a really terrible thing. So what I try to do is minimize that as much as possible by adding bacteria from other tanks. Hell, if you have a filter that's been running on another tank and you basically stick it on a new tank, of course after the gases have dissipated out of the water and stuff, if you do, you could take an old filter, stick it on a brand new tank, and you've got a cycled tank. I mean, the breeders do that all the time. They could just take a filter out with the air pump and just stick it in another aquarium and it runs just fine. And that's how they move their fish around from tank to tank and start new tanks all the time. So it can be done. Most of what's going to happen is going to be in your filter though. So if you got anything in that filter that you can add over to the new aquarium, even the entire filter itself. Now one guy, I think Mr. 16, Lake Lever 16, had an edge that he had just gotten, so he probably won't be able to do that. I'm not sure what Ms. Rapace has on hers, but I guess we'll see. Feel free to comment. One thing I wanted to try this year, last thought before I go, one thing I wanted to try this year was probably a live broadcast by Google Hangout. If you'd be interested in doing a Google Hangout, please let me know. And what I'll do is I'll answer your questions live. You can just send me the questions, and maybe I'll have a Q&A session and talk to you guys for, I don't know, a half hour or so. We'll try that. So if you're interested in doing a Google Hangout, if you want to hang out with me and talk about fish and junk, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys. Have a great new year, and I'll see you soon.